Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Happy Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you're having a good start to your weekend. Well, this is how America will be brought down to its knees, ladies and gentlemen. And if this doesn't stop what is going on now in many different facets, America will be destroyed. And that is the goal of the people that hate this country, that unfortunately are actually serving in office. I have a whole bunch of news to go over with you today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a few minutes on the main topic, which is this is what will bring America to its knees, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on right now. But everything else I will be doing a speed round with because I have so much to go over. If you would like to revisit any of the stories that I'm going to go over today, all you have to do is take a look at a pinned comment and it's going to have all of the links of everything that I talk about today. And I also want to say thank you very much to ITM Trading for sponsoring this video. And it's really sad that we have to talk about this so much, but we have to, ladies and gentlemen. We have to know what's going on, and we have to be able to look out into the future to see how this is going to affect not only us on a personal basis, but our entire nation, meaning how is it going to affect the generations that are coming after us. I hope the public is waking up, they say. Border invasion sparks migrant crime crisis in major cities. And when we think about the migrant crisis, we think about New York City because it's been televised the most. This person here says, this is actually insane and it's by design. And with that, I have to say that I agree. Biden is importing so many illegals that it's enough to replace conservative voters in many swing states. But how can that be? I thought you have to be a citizen of this United States in order to be able to vote in a presidential election, ladies and gentlemen. Well, 7.2 million illegals entered the U.S. under this administration alone, an amount that is greater than the population of 36 separate states. Not 36 states combined, but each state, 7.2 million is a bigger population. It's definitely a bigger population than the state of Alaska. I think the state of Alaska only sits at about 700 or so thousand people altogether. So why are they letting all of these people come into the country illegally? First of all, why is it that they're not following the law? Why are they not enforcing the law and allowing this to happen, ladies and gentlemen? Have you asked yourselves that question? New York City's non-citizen voting law struck down by appeals court. What is this non-citizen voting law? Ladies and gentlemen, I was naturalized, meaning that I took the oath to become a citizen of these United States. I believe it was back in 1999, July something of 1999. And thereafter, I was able to vote in any kind of elections. But before then, I wasn't able to vote. New York City's law that lets non-citizens vote in local elections hit a brick wall on Wednesday. Thank goodness. As a state appeals court ruled, it violates the state's constitution. I've told you about the Constitution several times. That is not difficult. All you have to do is read it. And I don't understand how it is that any kind of an elected official, be it Republican, Democrat, Green Party, whatever it is, right, that they can even attempt to put a bill into Congress or whatever it may be that can turn into law, which is unconstitutional to begin with. It just makes no sense. It just lets you know how corrupt this system really is. We determined that this local law was enacted in violation of the New York State Constitution and municipal home rule law, and thus must be declared null and void, wrote appellate judge Paul Wooten. And that, I would say, has to do with almost every law in the United States, that it should be null and void, especially those laws that are against the First and Second Amendment, ladies and gentlemen. The measure would have allowed approximately 800,000 non-citizens to vote in city elections. Now, I'm only speculating here, but maybe that's why they've allowed more than 7 million illegal aliens into our country. You can think what you want to think. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe that all illegal aliens coming into the country are just coming in to get freebies. I believe that a very good portion of those that are coming in because they are setting up in order to do harm to our nation and the people of this nation. The number of Chinese illegally crossing U.S.-Mexico border surges 500% in San Diego alone. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably the part where this video may get throttled down or maybe even demonetized. So if you want to show your support, please let the video play all the way through. Let an ad or two run through for at least 15 to 30 seconds. That really does help with the algorithm. And if you like it, give it a like. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down, ladies and gentlemen. Either or is good input to give the algorithm so that it will spread the message a little bit further. Thank you very much in advance for your support, ladies and gentlemen. With the latest data from the San Diego sector showing a staggering 500% surge so far this year compared to the same period a year ago. Why, ladies and gentlemen, is this being allowed to happen? That's the question we need to ask. Just fentanyl alone costs us over 100,000 deaths every year. Why? Because they overdose. And here we have CBP seizing 6.5 tons of meth in Eagle Pass, ladies and gentlemen, the largest haul ever at a port of entry. The question is this: if they're brazen enough to try to get 6.5 tons of meth in through a port of entry, then what are they getting through the porous borders where no one is checking them? And that is why we're going to continue to have all of these people overdosing and causing havoc to our families here. But it's okay, because if you come here illegally, you're going to get a $10,000 card so that you can start off your new life searching for the American dream, while those that are here that are paying into the system and have been paying into the system have to deal with their children, their husbands, their wives, etc., overdosing on these drugs that are being sent over on purpose, in my opinion, to destabilize our nation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen, a lot of the things that I talk about during these new videos, a lot of them are my opinions, but take a look at what's going on for yourselves. I challenge you to go ahead and click on those links that I leave where you can come and revisit these stories and take a look at them for themselves and learn to ask the question why. For example, within 10 years, interest and Medicare will each cost $1.6 trillion a year. Why, ladies and gentlemen? Why is that? If you just go down that rabbit hole, you may find out that it's because you, the American citizen, are no longer the priority to the government that you elected to represent you. Which countries have the largest gold reserves? I wanted to show you this because I think it's important that we know here in the United States of America that we supposedly have the largest gold reserve at 8,133 tons. And the second one is Germany, Italy, France, Russia, China, and then it goes down the road. But ladies and gentlemen, the question you want to ask yourself is two things. Do we still have this gold? Do we still have this gold? Because if there is a reset to the financial system, I believe that we will be going to a gold-backed currency. Why? Because the reason why we would have to reset the system is because all faith and confidence has been lost in it. So do we actually have this? And if we do, that's great. But my second question is why? Why do central banks, why do nations hoard gold? Gold doesn't do anything. It just sits there. It has done that for ever since humanity. Why, ladies and gentlemen? Because gold is one of the best, if not the best, exchange of value. It maintains its purchasing power over time. It can't be created out of thin air. They can't just make it like they can fiat currency. Why don't they use it all the time instead of using fiat currency? Because fiat currency gives the government control over you. Whereas if they had to abide by a gold standard, it would be we the people that had the power. Now, this is a great time to go ahead and segue into the sponsor of this video, ITM Trading. I like to talk about ITM Trading off the cuff, ladies and gentlemen, instead of just having a pre-recorded message, not taking anything away from anyone else. But ITM Trading has been helping people and educating people about gold and silver and how to protect their purchasing power for almost 3 decades now. If you head over to ITM Trading, ladies and gentlemen, they will first educate you on why it is that it's important that we protect our wealth right now in the time that we're living in. They will not try to pressure sell you. They will answer all of your questions. And if you have to call them a dozen times before you make up your mind on what you have to do, or heck, if you have to call them back and forth for the next year, they will take your phone calls. They will talk to you. They will answer your questions. And if you have anywhere between $5,000 $100,000 to $500 million, ladies and gentlemen. You can give them a call and they'll be more than happy to help you. At the very least, get the free education and set up a free consultation with ITM Trading. And again, I want to thank ITM Trading for sponsoring this video. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Sanctions only hurt the people. All of these sanctions that have occurred over the last several years, who are the ones that are really hurting, ladies and gentlemen? Is it the oligarchs? Is it the people sitting atop their ivory towers? No, it's always the people. Aluminum prices soar after Biden says major sanctions package against Russia is imminent. Again, sanctions are designed to hurt the people in hopes that the people get angry with their government and then have the government change the policies that they're angry about. It never works for the people. It's always against them. And it's so nice that our elected officials think it's a good thing and champion not following the Constitution of these United States of America, especially when they took an oath to do just that. That didn't stop me, says Biden, as he brags that the Supreme Court can't stop him from canceling student debt. And he did it. He defied the Supreme Court again, cancels $1.2 billion in student debt from 153,000 borrowers. But really, who is paying this bill? Because someone has to. You can't just cancel debt. It's you. Not only you, the taxpayer, but you, the American people. Well, how will you be paying for it? Well, the devaluation of your dollar will continue to accelerate, ladies and gentlemen. Your taxes will probably go a little bit higher without you really knowing it, because they do it a little bit at a time, right? The frog in boiling water is how they've managed to get us to where we are today. And I just thought that you would find it interesting that Jamie Dimon sells 822,000 shares of JPMorgan for the first time as stocks hit all-time high. Why? Another question that you should be asking. Why? Why is he selling them now if things are so great? Well, you're going to find out here in short order, right? Not only do I believe, but a lot of big economists believe that are smart, that do this for a living, that there will be a huge devaluation. So in my opinion, the stock market might go to the moon. Why? Because the dollar will be devalued so much that the stock market would only go up and up and up. Joe Biden's EV mandate vision for America is in full collapse. I've been saying this for a while now, that this green stuff is not going to work. Why? Because it cannot replace all of the energy that we need in order to sustain the standard of living that we have now. And when people start to lose their standard of living, just like they have been for the last couple of years, they get kind of angry, don't they? Have you noticed that the average American is not very happy with what's going on with their standard of living? And what happens when the American people are not happy, or people of any other country? They usually vote one way or another. And here it says that Joe Biden's mandate, it's not working, and it will not work. The best thing, ladies and gentlemen, is a free market where we, the consumer, get to decide what companies survive and what companies fail. But as long as the government gets in the way, it will always be a failure. Not for the government, because it gives them all the power in the world, but for you, the consumer. You will always be the loser. And to finish it off, climate dietitians push Americans to cut beef for the sake of the planet. What do I have to say about that? Kiss my ass. Because when we have things like this going on, we've got things that are a lot more important to worry about than some pseudoscience of people that got paid by oligarchs, right, by billionaires, or by governments to come up with a problem that the government can provide a solution for that only benefits them and not we the people. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and get off here. I probably made this video way too long. Thank you again, ITM Trading, for sponsoring this video. If you haven't checked out ITM Trading, ladies and gentlemen, click on the link, go ahead and schedule a free consultation. It doesn't cost you a penny, but they will answer all of your questions. All right, so thank you again, ITM Trading. I want to thank you all for joining in. I hope you have a great weekend. Be safe. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.